jump the new, march the roads and bust a move. Grab the pants, stand to heel and go. That's how we Bahamians go. This we culture proud and strong. Grab your cowbells, beat that drum. Wind your waist, gal, come alive. This carnival juggernaut style. Give it up, bust a move. Huh.
Tonight, complaints are up against officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. We've got the details. This as murders see a downward trend. Also, the PLP in campaign mode. We are live tonight. And later, the latest on the Grand Lucayan sale. Eyewitness News starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Janaea Noel. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, amid growing public scrutiny over police accountability, Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles declaring that internal investigations are not being buried. She announced today that fresh resources have been mobilized to fast-track stall cases and root out misconduct within the ranks. Arlington Ritchie Jr. has the details in tonight's top story.
The Royal Bahamas Police Force is ramping up efforts to resolve dozens of internal investigations, adding more manpower to its tribunal system to fast-track a backlog of cases that once stalled the department. 4 tribunal courts are now in operation as the force works to bring closure to 67 active cases. So far this year, 91 civilian complaints have been filed, putting a number of officers under the microscope, with allegations ranging from corruption to physical abuse and theft. Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles dismissed claims that the force has been slow to hold its own accountable.
Complaints and Corruption Branch, which is limited in investigators, is certainly putting a great effort into addressing all of these complaints.
Knowles said when she assumed the post, she inherited a wave of cases, some long delayed, and made it a priority to clear the docket.
To clear the backlogs that we've had for the 2024 and 2023 periods, and also to begin the court hearings on the 2025 matters.
Among the most high-profile cases under investigation, Inspector Alcott Forbes, accused of being caught on tape allegedly discussing potential criminal involvement. Reserve Constable Marquez Porter, accused of physically abusing a 4th grade student at E.P. Roberts Primary School. Both cases remaining under active review. And to those who believe the force is protecting its own, Knowles had this response.
We will not tolerate any form or any kind of corruption. We know that there are some bad apples, and as we find them, we will weed them out.
No official figure was given out on how many officers have been terminated or disciplined, but so far, 20 cases have been closed, with 47 still ongoing. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Meantime, some alarming statistics coming in from the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Its 2025 mid-year report has figures showing suicides are on the rise compared to previous years. However, murders are declining. Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles revealing to reporters today that social ills, including mental health, resulted in those numbers climbing, particularly in one gender.
That our productivity levels are higher than they've ever been before over the past 6 months. Major crime across the Commonwealth of the Bahamas decreased by 14%. Murder decreased by 27%, with 44 incidents compared to 60 incidents over the same period in 2024. 39 were in New Providence, 2 in Grand Bahama, and 3 in the Family Islands. We were able to solve 64% of all murders recorded in that period. Retaliation, gang, and conflict continues to trend as the most common motives for murder, representing 64% collectively. And fatal gunshot wounds remains the leading cause of death in these cases.
Now, with officers having their hands filled with crime here in the Bahamas, officials say to date, the bloodshed on our streets has slowed down and those responsible are now feeling the full brunt of the law.
That by mid-year 2025, suicides rose to 8 cases from 5 in 2024. All 8 cases were male victims. Likewise, attempted suicides increased by 39%, with 32 cases by mid-year 2025, compared to 23 cases over the same period for 2024. The leading motives of these types of incidents, based on our preliminary reports, includes depression and anxiety, persons of undesirous of living, and relationship issues. The mid-year number of these types of cases are trending higher.
Meantime, police are investigating an alleged sexual assault that was reported on Saturday in the West Ridge area. According to initial reports, the female victim was in a vehicle with a man she only knew by name. It's alleged that the suspect drove her to a bushy area where he allegedly sexually assaulted her against her will. Police say the investigation is ongoing. They're urging anyone with information related to this incident to contact police at 911-919 or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. Moving on to news from politics tonight, with the sitting Michael MP set to step down, the seat up for grabs from all sides of the political divide. A purported political aspirant on the ground over the weekend, Laurencia Smith, speaking with residents about the potential candidate. She has that story tonight.
With incumbent Member of Parliament Basil McIntosh not seeking re-election, the Progressive Liberal Party is now on the search for a new standard-bearer in the Michael constituency ahead of the next general election. And one name already garnering buzz, Tribune Media Group's president, Robert Depuch Karen, is reportedly throwing his hat in the ring. Social media posts placed him on the ground in Acklands recently, sparking speculation that he's eyeing the PLP nomination. And it seems the seat is officially in play. One video now making its rounds on social media, supporters can be heard chanting, "We want Robert." We want Robert! We want Robert! We want Robert! Acklands resident Grace DeVoe tells Eyewitness News that while it's still early, she's encouraged by the possibility of him running when it comes to opportunities for young people.
A great thought for the island in the Michael, especially being so far in the back here, and his plan with the aviation system and healthcare combined, it's a great thing for the island. And I think it also will help younger persons when it comes to job opportunities instead of going to Nassau to find a job.
And it appears that Depuch Karen came prepared. During a conversation with residents, he made it clear he had no intentions of coming with his hands swinging.
I didn't know what to bring, so it was advised KFC. So to your right, to your right, I hope that's the gift that keeps on giving.
politics runs in his blood. The aspirant hails from a lineage of public servants, among them Sir Etienne Depuch, who served in the lower chamber, including the tenure from 1925 to 1942, and then again from 1949 to 1956. Meanwhile, Ackland's resident Timothy Thompson says Depuch Karen isn't just talking, he's coming with a plan, argues that in the past, MPs from both the PLP and the Free National Movement are out of touch with the people.
I've elected MPs from both sides of the divide, right? And we have come to the conclusion that both MPs have suffered destination disease after they've been elected, and that they are switched off their phone.
A stronghold for the PLP under V. Alfred Gray, who held the seat from 2002 to 2012. But in 2017, the tides turned with Muriel Emanuel delivering a win for the FNM. And in 2021, it shifted once again as Basil McIntosh claimed the victory for the PLP. Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, still talking news from politics tonight, a noted figure revealing his decision to walk away from public life despite previously expressing certainty that residents in that southern constituency would like for him to be their representative. This amid mounting political talk that he was eyeing a comeback. Our Jose Etienne has the details.
I'm done with politics, period. I have no more political aspirations.
The end of a storied chapter for veteran Progressive Liberal Party politician Shane Gibson, who is officially bowing out of public life after serving for 15 years. He's calling it a career, a decision that also quashes speculation that he was mounting a political comeback in the next general election in a constituency that he had his sights fixed on.
If you call Michael right now, Michael want me to come down there. But, I decided I am not running anymore.
His decision to step aside comes 2 years after a failed attempt to re-enter frontline politics. Gibson was rejected by the PLP as a candidate hopeful for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election in 2023. During that time, his feud with PLP's sitting chairman Fred Mitchell also came to light. But 2 years later, Gibson says that had little to no impact on his decision to move on.
They don't decide. I decide when my political career is over, and I decide now that's it for me. The only thing a political party could do is decide if you run for them.
The former trade unionist turned member of parliament and cabinet minister jump-started his political career with the PLP in 2002. That's when he served as immigration minister until his resignation in 2007 amid growing controversy that placed the country under an international microscope. He was re-elected in the Golden Gates constituency in 2007 and once again in 2012, marking his second stint as a cabinet minister. But controversy still followed Gibson even after he was voted out in 2017. The former cabinet minister faced bribery allegations in 2019, allegations that his defense team argued was a direct result of malicious prosecution. Nonetheless, the Davis-led administration reached a $2.5 million settlement with Gibson in 2022. And although he's stepping aside, he says he's leaving behind a proud legacy.
Urban renewal was started under me. The National Health Insurance was started under my ministry. The National Training Agency was started under my ministry. When I was in the first time, I built 1,500 houses, and that was 5 years. And then I was there. Had a whole almost hundreds of contractors hired to make sure those houses were built.
Gibson's announcement now marks a definitive end to one of the PLP's most chatted political figures in recent years. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Thanks so much, Jose. Meantime, the Progressive Liberal Party on Windsor Park tonight, gearing up for Central Constituency's Link Up. We do have a team on site. We'll be bringing the details of that for you shortly. But in the meantime, concerned residents are sounding the alarm tonight over unsafe watercraft, unauthorized vendors, and others crumbling infrastructure and shrinking public access at Goodman's Bay Beach. Many believe Bahamians are being pushed out of their own spaces. Eyewitness News turning to social media today, posing the question, do you believe public beaches like Goodman's Bay are being commercialized at the expense of local access and also cultural identity? 89% of participants voting yes were being pushed out, some 6% voting somewhat, balance is missing, 5% voting no, it's still accessible to all. Now, along with these votes, comments express concern that many residents are expressing deep frustration and concern over the ongoing commercialization and neglect of public beaches. They argue that decisions made in the name of tourism often come at the expense of Bahamians, stripping locals of already limited beach access. Several people describe the current situation as, quote, disgraceful, pointing to unregulated vendors, poor infrastructure, and unfair development approvals. There's a growing fear that if the public remains passive, beaches will soon become entirely privatized, with locals having nowhere left to enjoy. Of course, this is not lawful. There must always be beach access for residents. Well, just 2 months after government inked a $827 million agreement with Concord Wilshire Capital for the redevelopment of the Grand Lucine Resort, Minister for Grand Bahama and Pine Ridge Member of Parliament Ginger Moxie says operations are already underway for that hotel. She emphasized that the purchase marked a new chapter for the nation's second city, and once the redevelopment is completed, Grand Bahamians will soon feel the success.
It's progressing, you know. Of course, there was a sale, and so we're just looking forward for what's next. I think the Prime Minister would have spoken on it recently. I'm just excited that finally there's movement on the hotel, and Grand Bahamians, Grand Bahama Island is moving in the right direction.
Meantime, as we said, the political wheels are turning as the Progressive Liberal Party rallies the troops with supporters from multiple constituencies in central New Providence. They're converging tonight at Windsor Park for what's being billed as a massive link-up event. Our Jose Etienne live on the ground with what's unfolding. Jose?
Erupting here at the Windsor Park on Wolf Road. The governing Progressive Liberal Party has underway its central link-up, and so this gathering here that you're seeing is bringing together the troops, rallying together the troops, bringing together party supporters, constituents across 4 different constituencies across central New Providence. So we're talking about Marathon, that's represented by Lisa Raming, the Minister of State for Urban Development. You're talking about the Anglerston constituency, that's represented by Glenn Sanamar, the Minister of Education. You're also talking about Freetown, that's represented by the National Security Minister, Wayne Monroe. And last but not least, you're talking about the Senate.
To be having some technical difficulties. Jose Etienne live on Windsor Park tonight. Of course, we could hear Jose, but there seems to be some challenges with the video tonight. We will try get Jose back on the line to bring us a full recap of what's transpiring on Windsor Park tonight. But also in news today, the investigation into a fatal stabbing incident on board a cruise ship in Bahamian waters continues. In this report, our Devontae Hanna shares the latest from police.
Tonight, police say the investigation into a tragic stabbing on board Royal Caribbean Cruise Line's Icon of the Seas is getting set to move on to the next step.
A file will be eventually sent to the office of the coroner, where a determination will be made as a result of what transpired.
The incident in question on Thursday near San Salvador involved a personal dispute between a 28-year-old South African woman and her assailant, a 35-year-old man, who a Royal Caribbean Cruise Line statement says he stabbed.
After being denied, he inflicted some injuries to that young lady.
At last report, the woman was listed in stable condition receiving medical care on board the ship near San Salvador. Her crewmate, after reportedly being rejected, was pulled from the waters dead. Harrowing videos from the rescue are now flooding social media.
He eventually went to the end of the vessel where he stood. Persons attempted to prevent him from jumping. He eventually did. Subsequently, he died as a result of the injuries he sustained during that period.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Anton Raming confirming officers are pleased with the progress of the investigation.
We are speaking with our foreign partners and also those family members who are inquiring on that matter as well, along with the persons that are on the ship, to gather all the information that's needed for us to complete the investigation.
The Icon of the Seas remains docked in Miami. Devontae Hanna, Eyewitness News.
Thanks so much, Devontae. Well, we are going to try to get Jose back on the line. We did have some technical issues earlier. Jose now at Windsor Park as the Progressive Liberal Party hosts their Link Up event, and that's a merger of several constituencies in that central area. But moving on to some other news tonight, Police Commissioner Shanton Knowles revealing that authorities are investigating their second case that targets gang activities with hopes of future prosecutions. This coming months after Knowles told reporters in February that police were investigating their first case under the Anti-Gang Act. However, months later, authorities faced criticism amid concerns that there was no forward movement in their first case. Knowles, however, disclosing that police faced an uphill battle. This as authorities also maintain that such cases cannot be rushed and require a long investigation that involves collecting intelligence and documentation. This update coming as authorities are using the legislation to dismantle gangs that politicians and police say are wreaking havoc on the streets here in New Providence.
We are well on the way with investigating that first matter. We had reached a roadblock or a small challenge. We were able to communicate with the Director of Public Prosecution's office, and we are discussing that issue. I think we have found a resolution to the challenge that we met, and hopefully we can move quickly now to bring that matter for a further discussion before the courts. I can also say that a second case has now begun. So there are two matters now we're investigating.
A busy weekend for authorities who now have their hands full investigating a number of shootings, one of them, according to unofficial reports, leaving a man dead. Police Assistant Commissioner Anton Ramming says authorities are hoping to bring closure to these matters, even amid growing questions on whether or not they're connected. While those cases are still being probed, Ramming says police hauled before the courts alleged gunmen responsible for previous deadly shootings.
We were able to take 3 individuals into our custody along with 2 weapons. So we are looking into that investigation. The individual that had been shot in that incident, he remains in hospital in critical condition, but we will be looking into that matter. I would also like to mention at this point, in relation to several of the other matters that we are looking at today, we should have sent 2 persons to court. 2 matters that occurred just recently, one of those matters being the matter that took place in Mason's Edition, that took place on the 11th of this month. We sent an individual to court for that matter. Also the matter that took place in Francis Avenue, that is on Bristol Street, we sent an individual to court also charged with that matter. In addition, you should have seen also a number of persons sent out to court this morning for 8 armed robbery matters that occurred during the past months. 3 persons were charged in connection with those matters.
Well, if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the Iron News hotline at 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms, Eyewitness News Bahamas at gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight, but when we come back, we break down the key takeaways of Central Bank's mid-year report. We've got that story coming up. And later tonight, a local pet groomer stepping in to help the Bahamas Humane Society. We've got more on that right after this break.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Taste of a KFC big deal, some people will do anything. KFC, it's finger licking good.
In 2010, a grant helped Bahamas striping group of companies get started. Today, that seed has grown into a national force, building roads, airports, and brighter futures. Now, we're leading the way through public-private partnerships, what we call 3Ps, where government vision meets private sector innovation. 3Ps empowers local subcontractors, giving them the chance to bid. And with every contract, we're putting money directly into communities, creating jobs, supporting families, and fueling growth. From roads in Eleuthera to community centers in the inner city, we're not just laying asphalt, we're laying foundations for financial opportunity. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we believe in building more than infrastructure. We're building up Bahamians who build the Bahamas. 3Ps, public-private partnerships for people, progress, and prosperity.
As a healthcare professional, you dedicate your life to caring for others. But even with the best care, legal challenges can arise. Protect your practice and your peace of mind with medical malpractice insurance from Star General. At Star General, we've partnered with Lloyd's of London to bring you comprehensive professional liability insurance designed specifically for those consulting or practicing privately. Visit our website today so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients while we take care of the rest. Star General, insurance made simple.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. Some new gas prices tonight. You're getting the cheapest at Rubis, $5.49. Esso, $5.51. Shell, the highest tonight, $5.63. Welcome back. You're watching Eyewitness News. Well, the Central Bank of the Bahamas releasing its quarterly report for the first half of 2025, shedding new light on the country's economic direction and financial performance. Our Delano Roker has the breakdown and key takeaways from the governor's address.
Positive growth path during the first 6 months of the year. While tourism growth was described as moderate, the overall expansion was fueled by strong foreign direct investment and government-led fiscal stimulus.
The environment is projected to have provided ongoing gains to employment and increased taxable activities which benefited the government's revenue collection. Stronger credit expansion resulted in reduced seasonal growth in bank liquidity and in external reserves compared to the first half of 2024.
Inflation, which has weighed heavily on households in recent years, has also begun to take ease. Roll confirmed that price pressures have slowed when compared to last year, offering some relief for both consumers and businesses.
Meanwhile, the inflation rate slowed significantly compared to a year ago due to subsided energy prices and tempered increases in average cost on other imported goods and services. Foreign exchange market indicators attest to the slower growth in productive activities over the first half of the year. In particular, commercial banks' purchases of foreign currency from the private sector, which are correlated with tourism, investment, and other activities, rose by 1.3% during January to June 2025 as compared to by 2.2% in the first half of 2024.
And while stopover arrivals haven't surged, Roll maintained that the central bank remains confident in continued growth throughout the rest of the year.
The central bank continues to expect the economy to grow at a slower pace in 2025 than in 2024. Tourism, as the main engine of growth, is likely to show mixed trends, in particular with the slowest results being in the U.S. stopover component relative to more sustained expansion in vacation rental receipts, non-U.S. stopovers, and return from the cruise segment.
Looking ahead, Governor Roll says indicators point to continued revenue growth through 2025, setting the stage for more sustained recovery.
Despite the contrast, though, between performance in hotels versus vacation rentals, the central bank's analysis of online travel sites and forward-looking bookings and pricing data forecasts better hotel sector revenues over the remainder of this year as compared to the second half of last year. And the results last year, should be noted, were impacted by greater uncertainties around the potential outcome in the U.S. presidential elections, as well as disruptions from a relatively busy start to the 2024 hurricane season.
Delana Roker, Eyewitness News.
While senators debating and passing legislation to bring about some sweeping changes in land reform in the country, Attorney General Ryan Pinder defending the bill, insisting they're critical to bringing clarity to a long, flawed system. Pinder taking an aim at the opposition, claiming that while they recognize the need for reform during their time in office, they failed to act.
For the foreseeable future, run parallel to, so you'd have registered land and you would have an unregistered land system as we move properties onto the registry. So you're going to run two systems in parallel at the outset, right? Hybrid system. And then move to move properties onto the registry. Because remember, if the government is guaranteeing the title to the land on the registry, we have to be sure that the title is clean, right? And it's good title. But you only have to be sure once, and then it's good. Registration will afford commercial confidence to vendors and purchasers of land, significantly reducing the incidence of litigation of land titles, and ensuring that there is transparency and independence in the investigation of titles by adjudicators.
Meanwhile, Opposition Free National Movement Senator Ruben Ramming reflecting on the historical struggle for land in the Bahamas, calling it a modern-day land grab. He argued that only persons of high integrity should be appointed to the commissions that will now oversee land titling and adjudication.
Those who are selected in this process, not even necessarily because of what may be done, but the very appearance because of what was done in the past. We need to make sure that the persons that we need to put in place, it is by necessity that we must have persons of tenure, a level of experience and expertise. But brother, honestly, in this country, some of the biggest thieves are some of the ones with the longest tenure and experiences, who've been playing this game a very long time. Some of the largest companies have been playing that same game a long time, ripping off land and destroying livelihood. Some of them would have been doing the exact same game as stated by our newest senator, whereas they play the dollar game. They throw up their title and they plainly tell you, so listen here, I could outspend you. I could run this all the way to Privy Council and my dollar's longer than yours. And many times it's not about justice, it's who got the longest pockets.
Well, they say the third time is a charm, right? Well, our Jose Etienne, as we said, standing by live tonight at Windsor Park. The PLP has gathered for a link up on Windsor Park. It's a number of constituencies in the central New Providence area. Jose, what's the latest?
Janae, as I've said earlier, there's a crescendo of excitement erupting here at the Windsor Park on Wolf Road. You have hundreds of supporters of the PLP across various constituencies gathering here to hear what their party leader and the country's leader, Prime Minister Philip Davis, has to say. Now, again, we're talking about 4 constituencies that's represented by 4 governing members of Parliament. You have the Engliston area represented by Glenys Hanna Martin, the Minister of Education. You have the Freetown constituency that's represented by National Security Wayne Monroe. You have the Centerville constituency, that's where we are at this juncture. That's represented by Jomo Campbell. And the Marathon constituency represented by Cabinet Minister Lisa Ramming. They're all expected to take the podium at some point to really make a case, a compelling case as to why they should be reelected and why the governing PLP should be reelected. Of course, they're hoping to get a second chance. And they, if that was to happen, that would be a feat for this government, as the country has yet to see that since the 2-term Ingram-led administration. So, Janelle, this is the second time we're seeing a gathering of this magnitude. The first time this has happened was the end of last month, in June to be exact. That's when there was an East link-up with members of Parliament representing constituencies in Eastern New Providence. And so a month later, we're seeing a similar kind of gathering here in Central New Providence. And so based on what we saw in the gathering last time around, what could we expect Well, Janea, I could tell you, based on what I've heard last time, we could expect for government to be pretty much touting its accomplishments, touting what it's been able to do since assuming office in 2021. Of course, they've touted signing a record number of labor agreements, industrial agreements that has reportedly unions happy, unionized workers happy, the workforce happy. They're, of course, going to tout about what they've done on the law enforcement front, talking about showing up manpower to, of course, protect the streets of New Providence. As it relates to education, that minister, who's also the member of Parliament for Engliston, she's going to come up and talk about what she's been doing in schools. And so even as this gathering is happening, you could see behind me scores of individuals in the back. Clearly, lots of excitement. You have individuals on their feet. And Janelle, this is expected to go on for the next 2 hours. And so, as we've said, the Prime Minister is expected to come here in a moment. He's headlining the event. He's also accompanied by his deputy, Chester Cooper. And of course, they're standing in solidarity with the other 4 parliamentarians who are here. Again, as we said, they're expected to take the podium and to once again make a compelling case as to why they feel as though this party should be granted a second chance as the country readies itself for the next general election that's slated for 2026. For now, Janelle, I'm standing by here at the Windsor Park in the Wolf Road area where, again, the PLP's central link-up is underway. Back to you, Janelle.
Thanks so much, our Jose Etienne, live on Windsor Park tonight. We'll, of course, have a full recap on tonight's event in a later report. But for now, you can tune into all of our social media pages for more details from tonight's event. Well, the Bahamas is taking a leadership role in supporting the launch of the first local government system in the Turks and Caicos Islands. A delegation from the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs, including senior officials from the Department of Local Government, traveled to Turks and Caicos to offer technical support and also share the country's experience with local government. The Minister of Works and Family Island Affairs, Clay Sweeting, speaking about the importance of this regional cooperation and what it means for the Bahamas.
We're officially launching their version of local government here in Turks and Caicos. So today was the appointment of instruments for the council members, for the committee members, and it's exciting because the Bahamas was a part of the development and the launch of local government here in Turks and Caicos Islands. So it's exciting for us. The local government team did an exceptional job in ensuring that they took the ideas of local government, how it has evolved over the years, and applied that to Turks and Caicos to help them develop their own version of local government that's tailored to their country.
Minister Sweeting also highlighting the value of helping neighboring islands build stronger communities through localized governance.
Local government has been developing and evolving for some time in the Bahamas. And to see that other sister countries through the region, such as Turks and Caicos, realized how it helped us develop our family islands, and realized that it was something that they can utilize as well. So out of all the countries in the region, they recognized that the Bahamas had a system that worked, something that was functional, something that they were able to replicate. So I think that speaks to the civil servants, the government, and council members throughout the country that ensure that local government really lives up to fruition and what it's really meant to be.
Well, the Rotary Club of Old Fort Bay has launched their Heart Safe Bahamas campaign, making it their mission to install automated external defibrillators in a number of public spaces, promoting emergency response and life safety skills. On Saturday, the club started off with the Foxhole Community Center, and President O'Neill Bain says the initiative is a direct response to their organization's pillars.
That we are installing a new AED device that will remain here at the center and hopefully help to save any lives if there were ever to be an emergency situation. One of our focuses this year is heart health. What we want to do is begin with this location and actually carry out many more installations and donations of AEDs, which will hopefully help to make public spaces in the Bahamas safer. What we wanted to do was to have the staff at the community center not just become trained in the use of the device, but also to learn more about heart health in general. Rotary, we're all about community service and making an impact on our community, and so we are always trying to recognize the needs of our community and transform lives as part of our projects. So you can look forward to many more projects just like this as part of the work of the Rotary Club of Old Fort.
And while promoting health and wellness, internal medicine specialist Dr. Justine Knowles McSweeney making a presentation at the community center educating locals on the importance of a healthy heart.
So I spoke about the importance of firstly having an annual checkup, the importance of monitoring your blood pressure, your diabetes, and the importance of monitoring cholesterol. So that goes back to our diet and our intake. So I also spoke to them about the use of this machine. So this is an automated external defibrillator, which is a machine that assists in patients that have cardiac arrest. It's a machine designed for non-physicians. So it's for the common person. It's not something that you should be afraid of. The machine actually speaks you through the process. And the Rotarians have donated this machine to the community, which I support this initiative 150%, especially during this summertime and this summer heat. A lot of patients are at risk, or persons are at risk of having cardiac arrest.
A new era of service and convenience on Shirley Street, Rubis, Bahamas, officially cut the ribbon on its newest full-service station today, furthering its mission to deliver modern, customer-centric experiences throughout the country. A grand opening also marking the debut of Lois & Steen's New Orleans Coffee House at that location, bringing a unique blend of flavor and culture to the community. The managing director for Rubis, Raymond Samuel, says the station reflects the company's ongoing commitment to innovation and local partnership.
We acquired it from the former owners some 5 years ago. It was closed, as you're aware, for about 3 years. We then embarked on a plan to transform the station to meet the Rubis Ultra Shop standards, which what it means is that we have transformed the station to serve the community by offering a range of services. We have in fact partnered with Lois & Steen, and of course, we have a new retailer here to certainly deliver, best-in-class experience to the customers in the community.
And Thea Butler, marketing director for the new Rubis station, says the team is excited to join the Shirley Street community. Meanwhile, Larry Russell, president of Lois & Steen, sharing some similar sentiments, calling the partnership a perfect fit for the area.
This location is very special to us because of the convenience. It's the ease of access. It's a major thoroughfare. We're open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. So we're here. We want to offer the best in service as you want to fill up in the mornings before you get to work. Like I mentioned before, come and grab a quick lunch break. It's right at the heart of Nassau. A lot of the tourist market as well in this location. So our C-store, we carry a variety of products.
Our objective or vision is to have six of these coffee shops around Nassau, and this is our 4th opening of our coffee shop. So we're quite delighted that we're here in the Eastern District. Our customers have demanded that they need to have a coffee shop in the East, and so that's why we're here.
Well, with the Bahamas Humane Society struggling to care for an overwhelming number of animals, one local pet grooming business is stepping up to help. Our intern, Layla Sands, has the details in this report.
Pet Oasis groomers are giving dogs at the Humane Society a new lease on life. Their goal, to make these animals adoption ready and hopefully help them find a forever home. Animal technician Shantia Brown says the process takes time, but the results are worth it.
Okay, well, when I came, I just get them, put them inside of the tub, bathe them twice. We have perfumes for them, and we have a little accessories that goes on them. We have bow ties for the dogs, for the male dogs, and we have bow ties and hair ties for the female dogs. We just put them on them.
The grooming makes the dogs cleaner, happier, and more appealing to families considering adoption. Senior groomer Mikkel Cates explained what the Pet Oasis team is aiming to accomplish.
We came into the shelter to, give them a little groom. It's, very hot outside. And, we just want them to feel cool. We also want to have them looking their best for when persons come in to adopt animals. And so this is just our way of giving back.
But for the team, this initiative is more than just baths and brushes.
So we're hoping that our initiative not only encourages persons to adopt animals, but we also hope that it encourages them to give back in any way that they can, if that is donating, adopting, or just lending a hand anywhere that they can.
And the need cannot be more urgent.
Yes, and so particularly during the summer month, we would say that the shelter is overloaded. The floor, you can't see the floor inside. That's how many cages are, crammed inside. And every day there's an increase of animals that are surrendered, abandoned, you name it.
As the Humane Society struggles to keep up, Pet Oasis is hoping their efforts will spark a wave of community support. For persons looking to adopt, the process is simple. You can come in and speak with any member of the adoption staff. An adoption form will be filled out, and after a yard check is completed, families are welcome to return and pick an animal of their choosing. Leila Sands, Eyewitness News.
The dogs were so cute. Be sure to adopt a pet today. So to come in Eyewitness News tonight, Grand Bahama making a comeback and is also sparking some optimism. We've got the details, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
The most important thing in life is family, and whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply. To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
Find the summer-loving specials you need at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Cardinal Evaporated Milk, 13 ounces, $1.09. Vitamalt Classic, 16 ounces, 2 for $3. Pretty Lady Red or Green Seedless Grapes, $3.99 per pound. Boneless chicken breast, $2.99 per pound. Danish spare ribs, $2.39 per pound. Super savings all summer long at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Well, it's been a wave of optimism in Grand Bahama as the island is making a strong comeback in the tourism industry with hotel doors wide open and a renewed focus on exceptional service and vibrant guest experiences. Tourism officials say Grand Bahama is just not bouncing back. It's setting the stage for a brighter, busier future. Arlington Ritchie Jr. has the details tonight.
With all eyes set on a much-anticipated tourism rebound in Grand Bahama, priority remains on preventing room shortages and ensuring hotel properties deliver unforgettable experiences to every visitor. One property leading the charge is Viva Wyndham Fortuna Beach, an all-inclusive resort with 247 rooms that promise scenic views, an open-concept layout, and immediate access to pristine, tranquil shores. And according to hotel officials, guest numbers are soaring.
Don't have like low season. There is like more high season in May, July.
From relaxation to non-stop adventures, the resort boasts a diverse range of experiences, all designed to celebrate the culture and spirit of Grand Bahama.
The love that we put in everyday tasks we do for our guests. They enjoy all the stays because from you came and you do the check-in, that's experience for you that you're taking from the Bahamas.
Whether it's pickleball, the resort pool, or a quick stroll to the ocean, guests never stay idle. And according to management, the feedback has been nothing short of exceptional.
Feedback is good because we are a familiar resort and we will be able to be creating memories.
As part of the global Wyndham brand, officials say Viva Wyndham's tropical location gives it a competitive edge, operating year-round at a minimum 80% occupancy. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Linton. So to come at Eyewitness News, Laurencia Smith has a check on sports. Good evening, Laurencia.
Good evening, Janaea. One of the country's most decorated athletes is making a major leap in his coaching career. I'll tell you who, straight ahead in sports.
Keisha, one thing with you ain't never have no money. I just sent Miko inside Wendy's just now because Wendy's having their summer promo. Just hot cash, girl. Yes, hot cash. But anyway, we did this one right now. We trying to win this $10,000. And even if you ain't win the $10,000, you can win $2,500 every week. Even if you don't get no ride, Keisha. Anyway, Keisha, I go on Miko Reach. Fine. All you gotta do is upgrade any combo between 1 to 12 to medium or large. And they get this new spicy chicken club sandwich. But I just sent Miko inside there for from June 24th to August 1st. You ain't getting the Wendy's, that's on you. But don't ask me for no money when I win.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Pain hits fast, so get relief fast. Only Tylenol Rapid Release Gels have laser-drilled holes. They release medicine fast for fast pain relief. And now, get Max Strength Topical Pain Relief precisely where you need it with Tylenol Precise.
I can clean your teeth, but I can't wash your whole mouth.
Yes, we're toothbrushes, not mouth brushes.
Listerine works with brushing to deliver 5 times more cleaning power, plus it contains clinically proven essential oils.
For whole mouth health, Listerine. Wash your mouth.
Stop, man, stop. But it's hot today, boy. Boy. You see that? Mm-hmm. That's snowing. I can cool off, man.
Where you going? Get back here. Don't go in that people.
I get inside there.
I can cook whatever you want tonight. Where you going?
You can do what?
I can cook whatever tonight.
I forget you can't cook.
Step up the heat and enter Skypole. Expert installation, cool comfort, and reliable service. Brought to you by Discount AC and Supplies. Your one-stop shop for top-tier AC units.
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat.
Welcome to another edition of Eyewitness Sports. I'm Laurencia Smith. Thanks for joining us. Topping sports tonight, Levan Superman Sands is making a major leap to the University of Kentucky, taking on a new role as the assistant coach for horizontal jumps. Prior to his move to Kentucky, Sands spent time as an assistant coach recently at Florida State and then, prior to that, at the University of Northern Colorado. The Olympic bronze medalist, best known for his podium finish in the triple jump, has been a fixture on Team Bahamas for a number of years, representing the nation at multiple Olympic Games and World Championships. Nicknamed Superman for his explosive athleticism, Sands is considered one of the most decorated track and field athletes in Bahamian history. Now let's head on over to the Diamond. The Bahamas Baseball Association made history by hosting the first ever Youth All-Star Weekend at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium and it was a home run. Players from the capital, the Saginaw City, Abaco, and Long Island all took part in the weekend's action, competing in the 8U, 10U, and 12U division. Team Black from the 8U division earned bragging rights after beating Team Aqua 12-6. Meanwhile, in the 10U division, Team Black struck again, clinching the championship with a hard-fought 7-5 win over Team Aqua. And rounding up the championship circle, Team Aqua bounced back in the 12U division, edging out Team Black in a nail-biter 10-9. We caught up with Grayson Newbold from the 10U division, who shared his excitement about the big win.
They had the most points in the first inning, but we kept our heads up and we played hard, so we came back and get the win. So we came out here for a championship game and played our hearts out.
The BBA's president, Clarence C.J. McKenzie, says baseball in the Bahamas is heading in the right direction, and he's confident that in the coming years, many of these young players will make it to the major leagues.
We need the crowd coming out to the park to cheer on these kids, to motivate them so they can see who they are. Without that, we can't make it happen. We have a lot of kids right now, professional, that we expect to be in the majors in the next couple of years. These kids right here, we know for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that somebody here is going to be in the major leagues.
Well, congratulations to all of the youngsters from us here at Eyewitness Sports. Now, the Bahamas is set to make its mark on the green. The Bahamas Golf Federation has named a 14-member junior team to represent the country at the 2025 Caribbean Amateur Golf Junior Championships. The tournament tees off on July 28th through August 1st at the Grand Reserve Golf Club in Puerto Rico. The team will be led by Coach Richard Gibson. Gibson expressed that he has high hopes for the squad as they hit the course and look to put the Bahamas on the podium.
Yes, I do have a strong team down here, a team that is ready to perform and win this tournament. My expectation truly is to see them do well, at least a win. And overall, I expect us truly to do good and bring home some trophies and make the Bahamas proud. With that said, you all continue to pray for us, and we will do our best representing the Bahamas.
Team 242 is coming off a strong finish at the 2024 championships, finishing third in Kingston, Jamaica. We'll definitely stay tuned for all of the latest highlights from the championships. Well, that's what's making sports at this hour. I'm Laurencia Smith. Stay tuned for more news on the other side of the break.
Make every moment unforgettable with Shop Smart. From colorful floaties and water guns to light vests that keep fun safe, we've got everything you need to dive into the season. Planning a beach picnic? We've got the cutest sets and coolest bubbles to bring the vibes. And don't forget our trendy swimwear for all ages. Summer starts here, only at Shop Smart. Your Miracle, number 122 Market Street.
Troubles surround me, and I didn't have to despair. Lord, you told me that you'd be right there. It seemed like all my problems.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza. Whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go, to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods Now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Well, that wraps up news this Monday. Coming up and Beyond the Headlines with Shanique Miller. She's got a jam-packed show. Firstly, starting on immigration. That's coming up and Beyond the Headlines. That starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Nawal saying good night and be safe, everyone.
It's week 4 of the Catch the Keys giveaway. Nessie here, and wow, only 2 cars left to go. This promo is flying by. 3 players have already been keyed into brand new rides, and it's time to hand over the 4th. Let's see who's next. Drum roll, please. Congratulations to ticket number E61985. O'Clough, you are our 4th car winner. Congratulations! You just got the key number 4. That means there's just one more chance left to win. You want in? Earn 10 reward points this week in lottery, casino, or sportsbook, and your entry is locked. Be here next Sunday at 3 p.m. for the final draw. Island Luck TV, 103.5 The Beat, and all our socials. Catch the keys only at Island Luck.
Win a brand new 2026 GAC MPOW every week for 5 weeks. Every 10 reward points earns you 1 digital entry. The more entries you gain, the better your chances to win. 5 weeks, 5 cars. Will you be one of our lucky winners? Catch the keys today, only at Island Luck. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so game responsibly.
Introducing Hands for Hunger's The Budget Gourmet, the sizzling new cooking show where 5-star flavor meets everyday ingredients. From pantry staples to farmers markets finds, join Chef Mo as we turn local, low-cost ingredients into gourmet magic, one dish at a time. Want your brand on the table? We're now inviting sponsors to be a part of this delicious journey. Get in early and let your name shine where flavor meets finesse. The Budget Gourmet. Everyday ingredients with a gourmet twist.
The Budget Gourmet. We're making it sweet, low cost meals you can't defeat. Tastes so good, it makes you move. Hands for Hunger is in the groove. The Budget Gourmet.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Catch the Keys giveaway. Nessie here, and wow, only 2 cars left to go. This promo is flying by. 3 players have already been keyed into brand new rides, and it's time to hand over the 4th. Let's see who's next. Drum roll, please. Congratulations to ticket number E61985. O'Clough, you are our 4th car winner. Congratulations! You just got the key number 4. That means there's just one more chance left to win. You want in? Earn 10 reward points this week in lottery, casino, or sportsbook, and your entry is locked. Be here next Sunday at 3 p.m. for the final draw. Island Luck TV, 103.5 The Beat, and all our socials. Catch the keys only at Island Luck.
Win a brand new 2026 GAC MPOW every week for 5 weeks. Every 10 reward points earns you 1 digital entry. The more entries you gain, the better your chances to win. 5 weeks, 5 cars. Will you be one of our lucky winners? Catch the keys today, only at Island Luck. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so game responsibly.
Introducing Hands for Hunger's The Budget Gourmet, the sizzling new cooking show where 5-star flavor meets everyday ingredients. From pantry staples to farmers markets finds, join Chef Mo as we turn local, low-cost ingredients into gourmet magic, one dish at a time. Want your brand on the table? We're now inviting sponsors to be a part of this delicious journey. Get in early and let your name shine where flavor meets finesse. The Budget Gourmet. Everyday ingredients with a gourmet twist.
The Budget Gourmet. We're making it sweet, low cost meals you can't defeat. Tastes so good, it makes you move. Hands for hunger is in the crew. The Budget.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, it's an issue that's seeing renewed anger among Bahamians, the practice of foreigners stealing Bahamian last names. Get this, one set of newly naturalized Bahamians even gave themselves the last name Pindling. Tonight, where do we draw the line? Meanwhile, the police boasting of lower murder numbers compared with this time last year, there is a troubling area that's showing an uptick though. Also tonight, Mike Kyle is emerging the most interesting race this election season, with several aspirants alone for the PLP. It's Robert Dubuche Karen who has put a major meet and greet on this weekend and is creating a lot of buzz. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, it's called Deep Poll, but Bahamians could care less. Daily Bahamians are becoming more and more frustrated. Why? Well, reading the newspapers. So why would reading the newspapers vex so many, you might ask? Well, what's frustrating are the notices published, notices of people looking to change their last names, sometimes their full names. What's vexing for Bahamians is the thought of having family legacies stolen, with families' names just being picked out of a bunch and used by anyone. this practice is a sore point. We have attorney Robin Lyne set to join me shortly, but first we are going to begin with the Beyond the Headlines contributors. Good evening to you, Leslie Miller, Ellington, Ferguson. Thank you very much for being here. You all have heard the grumbling and the complaints for the longest while now. We saw something even going about today about people just vexed at this very thought, saying that what the law should be is that maybe families, particularly because there's so many common names, and then there are other names like Pinling. How you could just come up to a nation and gain right to be in the nation and say you want your last name to be called Pinling. Gentlemen, this is something that we have seen taking shape and playing out for years. It seems too easy for one just to put a bunch of names in a bag and just seemingly choose one. Recently, there was a family who decided, as I said, to have their last name Pinling. I mean, why not? We've seen another family in the papers who chose the name Davis, for example. Why is this worrisome? Let's talk about that. And why should Bahamians be as angry as they are?
Good evening, Shanique, and good evening, Bahamas. Certainly it's a pleasure to be here once again. Shanique, this is very, very concerning. I'm not sure why is it important if you qualify for residency or citizenship or whatever it is. Why is the need to change from the name that you are to some Bahamian name to insert yourself into some a generation of Bahamians that have been here? What is your objective? What it is that these people are trying to do? I think this is something that we should be paying close attention to. This should bring a lot of concern among all of us here as Bahamians as to what is happening in the midst of us. Who's coming to join with us, and what is the motive? Is there an agenda? We need to be concerned about these things. This I don't take lightly. And then look at the names that they're choosing. I mean, prominent names. What is happening? What is going on? I think our officials need to pay attention to these, and we don't just need to flippantly allow these things to just happen in our country. We've got to pay close attention to who's coming in among us and what is happening, what is going on in this country.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas.
Good evening.
It shows you the boldness of these people to have this attitude that they can do whatever they please. They can pick whatever name they please, go in the telephone directory, go in the graveyards and just pick a name. And we are dumb and stupid enough. Like I always say, you look in the dictionary under the word Bahamian, and you see the word jackass, So they obviously went in Webster and figured who we were. And a lot of people are upset as I go door to door, and especially in the Carmichael area. And out there people are concerned that they're sick and tired of what they perceive to be that their country is being taken away from them by a bold and brassy group of people that really don't care anymore about what they have to say about them or what they think about them. I think it's very concerning for all of us as a people that perhaps within the next 30 years, we may find ourselves to be a little poor to pay. I'll give you an example. Just on Saturday in Turks and Caicos, there was a shootout in a bar. Several people got shot, 3 died. By a Haitian group of fellas who just decided they was going to kill some people, and they went to the bar and just shot the place. It's the first time in 38 years that they've had an accident of that magnitude that happened in Turks and Caicos. I don't believe Bahamas is too far from that place. Because if you look at some of the areas in the Carmichael Road areas that we go through, and you go through these little track roads, there are still villages there with gang of people living in there. And the fellas are getting bold, and they don't know what you're doing in their yard. I said, man, this yard was, one Bahamian fella yard, but he dead. So now we live in here.
This is what you're told as you move about.
Yeah, we now live here. They were the people working for him, he gone. So now they take over.
See, Shanique, this is a new phenomenon that's taking place in the country. And what Leslie is speaking to is happening across this country. People, they live on these people's property, and nobody knows. The people die out, and they know the people die, and so they know that they basically has ownership. With this new phenomenon that's taking place in the country, sometimes you don't have laws to protect these things because we could not foresee these things happening. I think we need to look closely at it because, like a business name, if you have a business and I go to name my business, which is close to your name, too close, not even exact name, but even if it's close,
They
the
will
business
tell you
registry would not allow it.
if you are registering a business, they tell you send several names so that they can choose one that has nothing at all or
to do with another
to do with
existing
another-
business.
Yes.
And so I think for some, their family names ought to be protected. And families should be contacted or some sort of thing as it relates to this. Not just anybody can come and just, this is a legacy. This is how we trace who we are.
But imagine 100 years from now, 50 years from now, right?
100.
And you meet a 50, and you meet some people and their last name is Pinling. You would automatically assume
Exactly.
that,
They
whoa,
have to be
this is
associated.
From
the
that lineage,
lineage
but it's not.
of the father of Sir Lyndon Pinling.
Exactly.
I mean, and it's vexing, but gentlemen, what's even more vexing, when you think about it, it's a lot to really kind of think about and consider. When people are trying to shed their identity, and
why is that?
And why?
What are you running
What
from?
is it that you're
Yeah,
running
what are you
from?
trying to
What are you trying to shake?
Is it that if we trace you back to your country, we'll find some heinous things about you? Is it that?
Criminality.
And these are the things that we need to look into. Do we look into these things? Is this a part of the process when these people apply for name change? Do we go and trace back where they came from to see if you're running from this name because of some level of criminality you're involving back where you came from that you're trying to distance yourself from? And so do we do all of these? Do the checks and balances?
Well, there is a
in the case?
30-day window, as you all know, and I'm hoping that.
And that is for people to come forward who got
give-
time to pay attention
and
to
give
these
an
things.
objection because many people
But to
don't.
say the
Not a big
authorities that are
business
going to
business.
allow the change to do the investigation
Exactly. They
back
should
where
do it.
these people
They
came
should do
from
it themselves.
to find out who they are.
Yes.
What are their names associated with?
You should not be entitled, the same way you shouldn't be entitled to citizenship, you shouldn't be entitled, if you so desire, to a name change.
Well, let me give you an example. In February, they pick up a group of Haitians. And one of the Haitians had a passport, Bahamian passport, with Edney Lockhart on it. That's a cousin of mine, God bless him, who was passed. With his picture in it, but he's Edney Lockhart. That happened.
No,
Red Bahamians go to the States. We don't change our name. Red Bahamians go to Canada. They don't change their name. When we go to London, we don't change our name. When we go anywhere around the world, we're proud and we keep our name. But this is how bold and brassy they are today.
Well, what if I tell you, gentlemen, this?
And worse than that, they can't speak no damn English and carrying your name. That's the thing was
What if
ready for it.
you all are aware of something called deed poll? The deed poll is an immigration, I guess, legal term that this is about.
Yes.
What if I tell you all that according to the deed poll, they have every right to do so?
Yeah.
Now, attorney Robin Lyons was supposed to have been here. She's making her way here. When she comes, we'll see if we still work it in, depending on where we are in the show, and then maybe revisit it if we are too far along. But what I was made to understand, and speaking with her earlier in preparation for tonight's show, is the fact that these people, let's say, well, we saw the Chinese changing their name to Davis, their last name. We saw the Haitians change their name to any number of names, and I think it was Haitians doing the Pinling.
Yes.
But so we see, we saw Chinese, we've seen Haitians, right? Anybody can do it.
Imagine a Haitian named Davis.
Well, here's
No,
Chinese.
Chinese.
No, Chinese.
They brassy now.
So here's what the deal is, though. They have a right to want to change their names to assimilate to the area they're in. So that now as a Bahamian, they're no longer Haitian, they're no longer Chinese, they're no longer whomever it is. They are now Bahamian because they've been naturalized. And so they have a right, according to law, to change that name.
$650.
So cheap. That's another thing. Should it be so cheap? Because they have a right to change their names to be able to be just as normal as anybody else. So that when you go somewhere and hear these names called, you'll be like, what? Who's that?
You know,
This
Trump
is why they have that
You know,
name.
Trump wouldn't accept that in America.
I
right?
don't think one should have to run from who they are. If somebody come here and been living here, and for whatever reason they have a right to residency, which I think that's another issue.
There's no right. The
We go.
government-
Hold on.
there's
Give
no
me a
right
second.
now.
Should be the privilege of
Whatever
yes.
the privilege that
No,
we
right.
extend to them, and they come to residency, obviously we just go straight to citizenship. That's another issue.
Exactly.
But I don't see why if you was Mr. Louis or whoever, you be Mr. Louis.
No,
We all will assimilate.
Lockhart.
You're now a Bahamian. You don't have to change that. That's who you are. That's your heritage. Okay, that's where you come
They show
from.
you the false pretense
But now
right
you
there.
have joined us. You are
They show you the
Bahamian
false
who is
pretense.
now a Louis or a Saint Remy or whatever else the name is. I don't see the
Brown or
necessity
Rule.
to have to become a Ferguson or a Miller
Yeah,
or a Davis. That's not who you are.
Yeah.
What are you running from?
No, it is vexing.
It is.
And Bahamians feel assaulted and insulted by it, and they also feel as though that it's something that is hurting and stripping the legacy of many families. Many families who have worked for them and put themselves in a position to be able to do whatever it is and become the matriarchs and patriarchs of their families. And here it is, people can just walk up and decide that this is what they're going to do. I don't know how it is. Mind you, again, you have that window to protest. In fact, I understand the Pindling family did.
In 30 years, it ain't gonna matter.
They should, and I said that they should. See, Shanique, this is something that
anybody can.
This is something that is culturally who we are. When you say, I'm a Ferguson, they say, oh, Auckland's a Crooked Island. When you say Davis,
you're right.
That's culturally who we are.
Exactly.
Every name is associated
Lockhart
with
is
some
Ragged Island.
island or the other.
Yeah,
That's
Lockhart,
culturally
Ragged
who
Island.
we are. And so
Miller,
when you go
Andrews,
ahead and just flippantly put any name,
You do it for Long Island.
almost lose an identity of a people.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell
That's
you.
what it's about.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for watching.
That's what it's
Abaco. Abaco says, listen, if I go to the United States illegally, I want to change my name. Can I change it to Abraham Lincoln?
That ain't happen.
Who knows, right?
Yeah,
But
try it.
again, this immigration thing, it has so many different twists and turns. Among them is exactly this name change thing. We see it published in the papers daily, notices of name change. I'll tell you what the law says, and I think I'll go ahead now because we're wrapping up this first segment, and I don't see any trace of the attorney. And so what it is that you can, anybody, not just somebody of note, you can go and you can petition. Now, would they listen to you? Because if you're a Pinlin or Davis or somebody, but you can petition the passport office, and that can put a stop to that. This is what the law says. And so for those of you who see this stuff happening and who pay strict attention to that, because so many Bahamians now do so and are very angry and feel very assaulted by it, by what's happening, by just sort of the stripping of your name and your identity, your family's identity, for somebody who just can figure that they just go and put your history, your whole, just everything, your life's work and who you are, and like you said, Ellington, and you pointed out quite rightly, in the Bahamas, mainly a lot of people can say, oh, you are Ferguson from such and such, and this and that and the next. Yeah, and so again,
You got a heritage.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we are going to take a first break this evening, and when we come back, we're going to keep this show moving. I wanted to get to that because that is a viral discussion that took place all weekend, quite frankly. I mean, it's been happening, but all weekend, and really a viral note that went around as well. And people are saying, listen, we need more clarity on this. We want this addressed, but that is what the law says. Of course, I'm not the attorney. Perhaps I'll invite her again so that she can really discuss this and we get a better understanding of what the deed poll is. This is Beyond the Headlines. We are back right after this. Stay close.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Welcome to Blissful Escapes, where luxury meets affordability. Whether you're seeking relief from aches and pains or simply looking to indulge in some well-deserved pampering, relax and detox in our infrared sauna. Enjoy a soothing Swedish massage or an invigorating exfoliating body scrub. We also provide advanced facial treatments using cutting-edge technology, including hydrofacial, microneedling, and microcurrent therapies, located at the shops of Cable Beach Plaza.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance Management. Nobody does it better.
Introducing Hands for Hunger's The Budget Gourmet, the sizzling new cooking show where 5-star flavor meets everyday ingredients. From pantry staples to farmers markets finds, join Chef Mo as we turn local, low-cost ingredients into gourmet magic, one dish at a time. Want your brand on the table? We're now inviting sponsors to be a part of this delicious journey. Get in early and let your name shine where flavor meets finesse. The Budget Gourmet, everyday ingredients with a gourmet twist.
The Budget Gourmet. We're making it sweet, low-cost meals you can't defeat. Tastes so good, it makes you move. Hands for hunger is in the crew. The Budget Gourmet.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Leslie, I'll give you an opportunity to say exactly what you say. The comments are continuing to come in on this. I tell you, this is a hot button issue. One of the comments says, listen, saw a Chinese last name being deed polled to a Bahamian last name. Doesn't the law says a Bahamian has to own shares in Bahamian-owned company? So if a newly made Bahamian citizen starts long-line fishing to export our fisheries, are we prepared or appearing to give away our birthright, where normal Bahamians will no longer be able to afford to compete? That too is an issue, quite frankly, a concern, gentlemen.
You wouldn't know the difference because the guy's name is one of us.
No, you won't.
So I'm going to challenge the guy and say, you're not a Bahamian, and the fella got your name.
No.
Bahamian name. What you going to do?
No.
That's a hell of a way to sneak around and get things done. I don't blame him. Everybody got a plan, you know. The only people who don't have a plan in this country are the black Bahamians. Look at our look at our white brothers and sisters. Look at how far they have come by patronizing that, looking out for each other. We do the opposite.
Well, who do you blame? Because even today in
They
2025...
hate you for waking up in the morning. They hate, but you,
in
they call each other.
2025, I'll tell you this.
Okay.
In 2025, listen, we don't even go down that route.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, in 2025, Bahamians, black Bahamians are still very much hating and despising each other and working against each other. Absolutely. So we could talk about that and how how we are, and that's just a pluralized we, because many of us don't subscribe to it. No. But we just hate each other. Yes. And so we will sell each other out for a flipping cup of tea. You know what I mean?
We're doing it every day.
Listen,
every day.
I tell you.
Right now as we speak.
Listen, amid growing public scrutiny over police accountability, Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles is declaring that internal investigations are not being buried. She announced that fresh resources have been mobilized to fast-track stalled cases and root out misconduct within the ranks. We get the story from Linton Ritchie Jr. and then we come back and talk about it.
The Royal Bahamas Police Force is ramping up efforts to resolve dozens of internal investigations, adding more manpower to its tribunal system to fast-track a backlog of cases that once stalled the department. 4 tribunal courts are now in operation as the force works to bring closure to 67 active cases. So far this year, 91 civilian complaints have been filed, putting a number of officers under the microscope, with allegations ranging from corruption to physical abuse and theft. Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles dismissed claims that the force has been slow to hold its own accountable.
Complaints and Corruption Branch, which is limited in investigators, is certainly putting a great effort into addressing all of these complaints.
Knowles said when she assumed the post, she inherited a wave of cases, some long delayed, and made it a priority to clear the docket.
To clear the backlogs that we've had for the 2024 and 2023 periods, and also to begin the court hearings on the 2025 matters.
Among the most high-profile cases under investigation, Inspector Alcott Forbes, accused of being caught on tape allegedly discussing potential criminal involvement. Reserve Constable Marquez Porter, accused of physically abusing a fourth-grade student at E.P. Roberts Primary School. Both cases remaining under active review. And to those who believe the force is protecting its own, Knowles had this response.
We will not tolerate any form or any kind of corruption. We know that there are some bad apples, and as we find them, we will weed them out.
No official figure was given out on how many officers have been terminated or disciplined, but so far, 20 cases have been closed, with 47 still ongoing. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Listen, I tell you the truth, when the people come in a live show and just figure they can take over, I tell you that's the attorney. Robin Lyons, thank you very much for being here. We will pick up that discussion because I'll tell you it is something Bahamians want addressed. And then to have an understanding. I gave some details about what you said. I had another attorney who was giving me information even live and also asking questions as well. So we really want to just come and sit with that. So I invite you back to really flesh that out because we understand the things you always be saying in your legalese. But listen, gentlemen, we hear the Commissioner of Police saying that, listen, they are holding into account not just the criminal on the street, but the ones in the ranks of the force. And Bahamians really must begin to sort of rebuild that trust, and their actions are causing them to earn the trust again of Bahamians because they are holding police officers accountable. Your thoughts on the fact that just this year alone, she gave numbers of police officers who have been made to answer to whatever crime they would have committed?
I think Shanique Knowles came into a police force where the morale was extremely low. Her predecessor, Mr. Fernandez, talked about systemic corruption in the force. I don't think she believed that she would have come in as commissioner and immediately everything was going to right itself. I think she understands that her job is going forward. It's going to take a process. It's going to take some time weeding out bad apples and just dealing with it as it pokes its head up. It's not going to happen this month, not next month. It's probably going to happen over a period of a year or two. But it's an ongoing process. A lot of officers have been getting away with doing a lot of stuff, and we're to the point where it's become almost the norm on the force to do certain things and that you get away with it. So her task before her is great. I think she's up to it. I look forward to seeing her deal with it in a forthwith manner. Officers must know and understand that certain level of corruption will not be tolerated. Abuses on the police force will not be tolerated. And we've seen where these type of abuses have cost the country, in a lot of cases, a tremendous amount of funds of taxpayers' money. And so I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I think she's on a good wicket, and I'd love to see her be very successful in this.
It was a very difficult year for the next few months ahead of her. You know, every other week as we come to the studio, here on the news, in the newspapers or here on the air, that some policeman has done something again. Just last week, the lady who did what she did in the police station out South Beach, and things like that, you know, it's rampant. And they must be resolved. The public must be aware of them.
Leslie, right, because the public must be made aware, because
Yes.
had that video not been out there, that lady could have claimed anything. And I know, so she has her rights. And we're talking about the lady that relieved herself on, I think, and I understand it happened at 2 police stations.
Yes.
And just poor behavior. Now, those officers are under investigation because I don't know, maybe they denied her the right to use the restroom. Not quite sure. But the thing is, those videos we see worldwide with police officers almost trying to cover their tracks and saying, listen, here's what took place. And if somebody
Right.
is nasty and mean and someone is disrespectful, then they're treated that way.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Shanique, we know we got body cams, so we would love to see more of those in operation
would.
as police do their work. I think police have a mammoth task ahead of them. We have a lot of situations in this country that need to be brought under control. And so to protect the police, we would love to see those camera vests out there in operation. And
A
our
lot of
police
people
that
too, you
do
know.
a great work,
A lot
get
of
out
what?
there.
A lot of
do-
people give the police a hard time.
do their work. Yes, I
and
know.
this
That's
is-
what I'm
and
saying.
this is why.
That
Try
the
to
police be
belittle
able to
them,
do
you know?
their
Yes.
work and is protected by those cameras
Yeah.
as they do their work. And hopefully we can have dash cams installed in these vehicles also. As is
Got
the
a lot of
case
work
in
ahead of them.
our
A lot of
neighbors to
work.
the north of the U.S. Make sure we have dash cams in these
Dash
vehicles.
cams and
protect our
yes.
loyal and hard-working police on the police force that is really protecting and serving this country.
To regain the confidence of Bahamian people, they got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, they do.
They need to pay close attention to it and weed out the bad apples as quick as you can.
Absolutely. It's an ongoing process, not something that happens. It's not a one-shot deal.
Yes, absolutely. Chance, I hear you. We're headed to a break, and when we come back, we're either going to continue with some more from the Royal Bahamas Police Force, but we're certainly going to get to what took place in Mycal over the weekend. I tell you, a lot of residents throughout Mycal are anticipating. How about that? About what's perhaps ahead. We will tell you all about it after this break. This is Beyond the Headlines. More in a moment.
My name is Omar Ferguson. I've been disabled now from 2009. What inspired me to start my own business? It was the determination to know that I still had something left in me, even though a lot of my independence, my mobility was being restricted. In my disability, it's kind of hard finding the investors or the capital. For example, national insurance. The benefit that we receive, it's a lifeline. And in any business that you're gonna take, it's gonna be a risk. We're not looking for handouts, but we want you to understand that we still need a little special care. This literally gives us a backbone that, hey, we could actually stand someday. The business I know, it's gonna be a risk. Even going through that process, I'm still dependent on national insurance. Overall, being in the program itself, it's put me in a place where I feel young again. I feel like anything is possible. I would say to others with disabilities, look around your community, just like you guys said in one of the modules. See what is needed in your community and go for it. Don't be afraid, just go for it.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay eating well.
Measles is on the rise around the world, and the Bahamas is at risk.
Which makes us very vulnerable as a nation for the possible outbreak of measles cases.
Every Saturday in May from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Ministry of Health and Wellness will host MMR immunization visits in South Beach, Coconut Grove, Fox Hill, and Elizabeth Estates. Clinics in these areas will remain open until 8 p.m. twice per week. Get your child immunized now.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. With the sitting Michael Member of Parliament set to step down, the seat is up for grabs from all sides of the political divide. A purported political aspirant on the ground over the weekend making major waves. Laurencia Smith spoke with a number of residents about the potential run, and then we come back and we talk about it. No. She spoke with, interviewed residents.
Lady.
Stop it. Stop. Okay. My people are looking for that story. Matter of fact, it's the top block of tonight's newscast. But let's move on. What the story is, right? And if you all have it, let me know. What the story is Robert Karen, who is now the head of the Tribune Media Group, is among a number of aspirants for the Progressive Liberal Party. Of course, we don't know as yet those aspirants for the Free National Movement or the Coalition of Independence for Michael, but certainly those several for the Progressive Liberal Party are making their presence felt. He did so in convincing manner over the weekend, holding several meetings at different spots in the constituency. And apparently the people, number one, had a lot of questions for him, and he had a lot of answers, and also a lot of plans that people are seeing taking shape even now. Your thoughts about this what's developing there in Michael?
This is a wonderful thing again for Michael. We've had a number of persons over the past few years who has had interest in Michael, as you can recall. At one point in time, Mr. Gibson had the interest in Michael. And now here comes Mr. Robert Karen, who has already got a number of initiatives going on for that area, who has been speaking with the people down there and talking to them about the initiatives. And it is actually the initiatives that he's been proposing for Michael that has piqued the interest of the people, that they start saying, hey, you might as well be the man to represent us, because this is what we need. I think this could be a game changer for this area. This area have been neglected over the past years, and we've always had, for the most part, other than Mr. Great, token representative. I think Mr. Karen does not represent being a token representative. He represents somebody that can move the needle on the scale and cause some things to happen, cause there to be some level of development in Michael. And that is what those islands in the south
No,
need.
Michael desperately needs
Absolutely.
it. As you all remember, I think it was last year, yes, that I went to Michael, and I heard from residents, it was in Agua in particular, heard from residents who called the show there. We had, in fact, a live hour with them, and they gave their opinions about how the state of Michael and the fact that they love their wonderful quaint islands in the south, but they just need a little bit more to happen with the economy, so that and with the infrastructure, with healthcare, with all the stuff, so that they can just enjoy a good quality of life.
And I'm going to tell you, Shanique, the potential up there is phenomenal. You have right now, without the necessary infrastructure, you have cruise ships and yachts that periodically pass in there.
Major shipping lanes
They
for the
can't
Bahamas.
really get people to get off like they want to and explore because we don't have the proper infrastructure. But the potential is huge in Michael, and so
you know, Robert Caron would be a hell of a story if he gets the PLP nomination, which I expect he will get. I've known him for the last 20 years of my life. Nice, regular fella, you know, regular behavior, knows the structure of the country. He's in tune with what is going on in the Bahamas today. He's following his footsteps of the late great Sandy Depuch, who represented that area. I think he won back in 1952. He was a representative. I think he served 2 times in Parliament. And then he went on his illustrious career in journalism and did a stellar job. So he has some big feet to fill. I believe he's up to the task of representing those people to the best of his ability. A lot of people like myself would be wondering now, what is this fellow from the roots that he came from? Want to go back to Auckland's Crooked Island and the other places, 5 islands in the south.
You did kind of wonder where the interest came. Yeah.
You know, did it emanate from his grandfather? Or
history.
Or you want to repeat history to go back to his roots from a man who served and did a hell of a job in Parliament. In fact, he fought for the blacks.
Yes,
believe
he did.
It or not.
As a matter of
He
fact,
was a freedom fighter.
That's a part of our history.
And he had many fights with the late great Arahana in there. They were on the same wicket in many cases fighting because Mr. Hanna too is from Mackay, don't forget. He's from Auckland.
Auckland.
You know, and they had this friendship, even though they had their fights. They became very friendly with each other, very respectful of each other, because their thoughts for the uplifting of the people in that southern area was so important to them. It'll be a hell of a thing to see happen. I look forward to the way ahead.
To tell you the truth, I'll get on the ground up there and work with him and make sure that this happens. He really have my support 100%. And I say to my people in Michael, especially in Auckland and Crooked Island, listen, this is our time. This is our time to rise from the ashes and begin to shine in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Yeah, I'm just happy for them because you all remember when I went there and, you know, the videos and the show went viral.
I remember from Megwana with that, yes.
Yeah, and it's just obviously the state of very key, the airport and other things, just really deplorable.
Now I must take you to Auckland and Crooked Island. You got to see Auckland and Crooked Island.
All the way to be done.
I must take you there.
Oh, it's different?
I'm extending an invitation to you.
I am sure he will rise to the occasion and do well on behalf of those people.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. Well, hey, listen, guys, speak with the sales and marketing department, and we certainly will be there. We would love to be there, be on the headlines. Meanwhile, gentlemen, I'll tell you, you know, Shane Gibson, many of the residents of Michael wanted Shane Gibson to sort of put his hat in the race, not just now, but well before now.
Right.
That never absolutely took off. I know that Jose Etienne spoke with Shane earlier today, and if we have that story, guys, let me know. We can just go to it and perhaps just talk about the member of parliament that Shane Gibson would have made.
I'm done with politics, period. I have no more political aspirations.
The end of a storied chapter for veteran Progressive Liberal Party politician Shane Gibson, who is officially bowing out of public life after serving for 15 years. He's calling it a career, a decision that also quashes speculation that he was mounting a political comeback in the next general election in a constituency that he had his sights fixed on.
If you call Michael right now, Michael want me to come down there. But, you know, I decided I am not running anymore.
His decision to step aside comes 2 years after a failed attempt to re-enter frontline politics. Gibson was rejected by the PLP as a candidate hopeful for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election in 2023. During that time, his feud with PLP sitting chairman Fred Mitchell also came to light. But 2 years later, Gibson says that had little to no impact on his decision to move on.
They don't decide. I decided when my political career is over, and I decide now that's it for me. I mean, the only thing a political party could do is decide if you run for them.
The former trade unionist turned member of parliament and cabinet minister jump-started his political career with the PLP in 2002. That's when he served as immigration minister until his resignation in 2007 amid growing controversy that placed the country under an international microscope. He was re-elected in the Golden Gates constituency in 2007 and once again in 2012, marking his second stint as a cabinet minister. But controversy still followed Gibson even after he was voted out in 2017. The former cabinet minister faced bribery allegations in 2019, allegations that his defense team argued was a direct result of malicious prosecution. Nonetheless, the Davis-led administration reached a $2.5 million settlement with Gibson in 2022. And although he's stepping aside, he says he's leaving behind a proud legacy.
Urban renewal was started under me. The National Health Insurance was started under my ministry. The National Training Agency was started under my ministry. When I was in the first time, I built 1,500 houses, and that was 5 years. And then I was there. Had a whole almost hundreds of contractors hired to make sure those houses were built.
Gibson's announcement now marks a definitive end to one of the PLP's most chatted political figures in recent years. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Well, gentlemen, there you have it. Of course, someone who, too, was being, courted by the residents of Michael to say, hey, listen, come give representation. They only wanted for the longest while just a representative they felt would have done good by them. And so, but you hear Shane Gibson saying, listen, he's deciding to obviously step away from that. And so obviously it's quite interesting what's shaping up and taking shape in Michael. It'll be interesting too to see who he gives his support to or his nod of approval in terms of those who have now thrown their hat in the ring for this upcoming election. And so that'll be interesting to see.
I think Shanique, Michael wanted and needed someone that could get things happen, someone that can make things happen. I think they saw that in Shane Gibson. He has demonstrated that during his tenure as Member of Parliament and Cabinet Minister. He's a go-getter, a worker. And I think that is what Michael needed, and that's what Michael has been looking for. We tired of just a token member to make up the number of any political party. No, we need somebody that's going to get in there, that has the ability to bring in what is needed in Michael and to cause things to happen to Michael for that community to begin to grow. And moving from Shane, I think Shane Gibson served well. I think he's made his decision not to go on. And hopefully in Mr. Karen, we have somebody that can cause these things to happen.
You know, Shane Gibson is a dear friend of mine. He's one of the greatest MPs in the history of our country, bar none.
Absolutely.
What he did to his constituents was just amazing. He was always there for them. And as a cabinet minister, we sat together in cabinet from 2002 to 2007. He was the man that got things done. And one of the things that most people love about him, including myself, his word meant something. If he gave his word, you didn't have to worry about it. It was going to get done. You know, and he was a hell of an MP. And I don't think, most people say that he, along with Fred Mitchell and the Port Cake, were in the same boat. And I was happy to be mentioned in the same sentence as him, as a member of Parliament who really took care of their constituents and really worked for and on behalf of the Bahamian people at large. Did a wonderful job, wonderful, wonderful job. And I'm sure his family is proud of his tenure in Parliament, as his constituents are too. And Bahamians everywhere. You know, and he's now retired like myself. You know, Fred ain't going nowhere, so we gotta hang around.
What does
see
that
what Fred
mean,
does.
Dusty? What does that mean?
No, Fred has nothing to do. Fred tell you point blank, his whole life is politics. He's never going to retire. He has nothing else to do. So we'll take him out of Parliament in a casket, a nice brown casket, and when he's ready, we'll send him home. But he isn't going anywhere.
Oof,
not this lifetime. No, it can't happen. He made that clear. You know, but some of us,
I didn't hear it. I thought at one point he announced that he wasn't running or
no,
is running or something.
No, that can't.
But in any event,
and he's such an extraordinary Minister of Foreign Affairs that we are so proud of as a Bahamian. He could represent us anywhere in the world. He's one of the best we ever had, and he does a stellar job. You know, and we're very proud of his service to the Bahamian people, but he ain't going nowhere.
Well, gentlemen, I'll tell you this. Let me know in the back if we have this next story. I'll tell you this, though. Grand Bahamians would be happy to hear this because there were a number of people calling me and wanting to know they need an update of the Grand Lucaya and what's going on with that, what's happening. Is it real? Like, is it tangible? Is stuff happening? Like, when is it going to happen? And so for just 2 months after the government inked a an $827 million agreement with Concord Wilshire Capital for redevelopment of the Grand Lucayan Resort. Yeah, $827 million, they said. Minister of Grand Bahama and Pine Ridge, Member of Parliament Ginger Moxie says operations are already underway for the hotel. Moxie emphasizing that the purchase marked a new chapter for the nation's second city. And once the development or the redevelopment is completed, Grand Bahama will feel the success.
With all eyes set on a much-anticipated tourism rebound in Grand Bahama, priority remains on preventing room shortages and ensuring hotel properties deliver unforgettable experiences to every visitor. One property leading the charge is Viva Wyndham Fortuna Beach, an all-inclusive resort with 247 rooms that promise scenic views, an open-concept layout, and immediate access to pristine, tranquil shores. And according to hotel officials, guest numbers are soaring.
Don't have like low season. There is like more high season in May, July.
From relaxation to non-stop adventures, the resort boasts a diverse range of experiences, all designed to celebrate the culture and spirit of Grand Bahama.
The love that we put in every details we do for our guests. They enjoy all the stays because from you came and you do the check-in, that's experience for you that you're taking from the Bahamas.
Whether it's pickleball, the resort pool, or a quick stroll to the ocean, guests never stay idle. And according to management, the feedback has been nothing short of exceptional.
Feedback is good because we are a familiar resort and we will be able to be creating memories.
As part of the global Wyndham brand, officials say Viva Wyndham's tropical location gives it a competitive edge, operating year-round at a minimum 80% occupancy. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Okay, obviously it's that is not the right thing. It was a SOT, sound on tape, with the minister and member of parliament. Guys, what's happening back there? What's going on, y'all? It's Monday. It's Monday. Let's see. We want some coffee? What do you need? Yeah, the minister giving an update on exactly where the resort stands is something that we ran in the newscast. And if you remember that, she said that everything is on schedule to happen with this resort. And in fact, it's already happening. It obviously something as big moving as what we saw a moment ago. It's like a huge ship, so it takes a minute to happen. So in fact, let's hear it. I'm told we have it now.
It's progressing, you know. Of course, there was a sale, and so we're just looking forward for what's next. I think the Prime Minister would have spoken on it recently. I'm just excited that finally there's movement on the hotel, and Grand Bahama Island is moving in the right direction.
Well, I wish he had said more than that, because believe me, the people want to know more than that, Madam Minister, there in Grand Bahama. But you all, we've got to hold her to her word. And so we trust that that's exactly what is taking shape, that the Grand Lucayan Resort is sort of phasing out, and this new project that's $827 million is now replacing it.
Absolutely, Shanique. This has been hanging in the balance for far too long now. And like you said, I wish she had something more tangible than that little snippet that she said. What people want to see now is, number one, no timeline was given as to when what will happen and all of that. And so, but people really want to see now work going on. People want to see this work to begin to redevelop and redesign this whole process. So she basically said what was said at the signing. So that doesn't go too far. But the government has a lot hanging here as Grand Bahamian, anticipate the commencement of the development of this new project?
Listen, this project must take place, bar none.
Not
There's so
next
much
year.
on the line right now with this project, that the sooner they initiate this project and get it started, the better off for the Bahamas and the government at this time. It has to happen. And I would wish they would just get it on and make the people happy in Freeport, and all the questions that are being asked would be answered once that takes place.
Just keep people informed. That's necessary, because obviously if it's 2 months, it may take a little longer than that to get things moving, but keep people informed with good information that they can use.
Positive information.
Exactly, and that means something. By the way, I'm just getting from BTVI that classes will begin in Mayaguana. And so again, we're talking about the revitalization of MyCal. That's what's taking shape there. So Austin, let me know if we have this story, please, as we wrap up this evening. The investigation into a fatal stabbing incident on board a cruise ship in Bahamian waters continues. In this report, Devontae Hanna shares the latest from the police.
I jump overboard and drown.
This is a stabbing, apparently. Okay, so you know what? I'm not going to hang around for that story. Leslie and Ellington, if we can just wrap up, I'll give you each an opportunity to talk about this weekend's events, the fact that the political season is really in gear. I don't know if we're in for an extended campaign season or what's happening, but certainly every political organization now has a point to prove, including the government. How do you see things shaping up?
This is a very, very interesting political season, and I'm watching the various political parties get their thing in motion. Let me talk about the Progressive Liberal Party first. I watched the Progressive Liberal Party is putting things in a slow stride. We saw a few weeks ago, they had the Eastern Corridor where they pulled those members of Parliament. I think it was Fox Hill, Yamacraw, and Seabreeze. They pulled them together and they had that little rally. And now you see them a few weeks later, they're moving into this central, if I may, which is right down in Angliston, Centerville, and I think Freetown and those. And they kind of gradually, like a train, getting this wheel moving in slow motion. And so this is what you're going to see happen with the Progressive Liberal Party as they move slowly in these different communities and put out these little mini rallies, so to speak, to get their fan base all riled up and all ready for the real campaign trail that's going to come later on this year. You're going to begin to see them do little stuff like this in Grand Bahama, then they're going to do it in the Family Islands. On the other hand, I'm watching as the official opposition, the Free National Movement, in its attempt to get its candidates all together, is having a whole different situation taking place in the midst of them. A lot of infighting, and they can't get past this candidacy thing, and it seems like every time they try to put out more candidates, more fires, more wars are created. The Free National Movement has a lot of work to do. The Free National Movement is a great organization. They've been here before. They've been in this kind of infighting before, and they were able to come out victorious. Can they do it? Can Pintard, like a former Hubert Ingram, pull the forces together, unite the forces and say, listen here, everybody, let's move forward. That has yet to be seen as they continue to fight and war among themselves. And you see fights on every front, fight in the west, in the north, and the south. They've got to pull it together in order to be a real contender against what the Progressive Liberal Party is coming up with. They've got to be able to pull this off.
You know, as we get into the gist of the political season, we should be conscious of what is going on. Last week, the leader of the COI lost his case at the Privy Council. He now has the famous roller, $64,000 plus interest. We hope, he said that he would have that check for her. Today, actually, I'm hoping that's a good check. I'm drawn on a credible bank in this country that the lady can now go on with her life. And he don't play these silly games that he's been playing for the last 2 years. I'm told she was in the hospital a few weeks ago. And she's really hurting, so these things need to be done. The PLP, I understand, is having a rally tonight on Wolf Road at the University of Bahamas, West Linden, God bless him. Used to have those marvelous rallies. They look like they're on the move. The FNM is stuck in reverse, really, with all the fighting with the candidates. Apparently, the the candidates committee is going totally against what the constituency persons would wish to have done, who they wish to have represent them. So, you know, we're gonna see what's gonna happen the next week or two before we head into September, which will be the last year of the present government's rule as the government. Have one more year left after that. Interested to see what happens. These are very trying times for all the political parties. There's a rally tonight, and I guess there'll be one soon again. I understand that the leader of the opposition is now on vacation. Mr. Ingham is now heading the team.
Stop it. Leslie,
What's wrong with that? You couldn't find a better man. That means you'd be damn glad Mr. Ingham heading the team. Something may happen, positive anyhow.
Leslie, who told
with all
you
the
that?
fight. I'm telling you what's going on. He's now getting stuff together, so we'll see what happens before the brother come back off his vacation. He may have to stay there if things go right. You know, but we can see what happens.
I thank you, gentlemen.
The national movement is either scrap or salvage.
Yeah.
They've got to make that decision.
Yeah.
It's time you scrap what you got.
Yeah.
And
They may got to
rebuild,
find a new leader.
Or are you still
I'm
able
serious.
to salvage
They
what
may
you
have to find a new leader.
Scrap
I
or
thank
salvage.
you all so much for tuning
We
in
have
this
to find a
evening.
new leader that people
Certainly
accept.
enjoyed having you along, and I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire, by the way, thank you very much to Leslie Miller and Ellington Ferguson. Thank you. Got to shut them up quick. Yeah, got to shut these dudes up.
You didn't want to go there.
No, sir. Not at all. I thank you all so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening.